Number two, I know you're not talking about somebody being lucid and cogent and enunciating their thoughts with clarity, and you're bragging about Donald Trump. We can't be watching the same stuff if that's what you're doing. You ain't going to do that today.
You know
now,
what?
Lindsey Graham, hold it. Now, Senator Lindsey Graham is about to come on this show.
Let me tell you
now,
something.
that man can articulate himself very well. Not Donald Trump now.
I have sat with him for hour after hour after hour, topic after topic after topic, and he is so dialed in.
Really?
Look, you know, it's funny. People try. This is like the latest argument. And meanwhile,
every day it seems like the MAGA hosts at the Fox propaganda outlet are trying to find a new way to humiliate themselves. And boy, did they last night, because sports commentary legend Stephen A. Smith appeared on Sean Hannity's show to debate, as Stephen A. always does, with so much passion, the state of this race, to talk about Donald Trump's unfitness for office, his cognitive decline. And it got crazy. Sean Hannity was in a state of pure panic as Stephen A. shut him down and called out Trump. And I cannot wait for you to see these takedowns. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It really goes a long way, and it means the world to me now. Let's get into both the takedowns of Donald Trump and Sean Hannity in a state of pure panic. It was amazing. Let's take a look.
All right, joining us now with reaction is ESPN host, the one and only Stephen A. Smith. Do you want to get it out of the way now, how hard your life is, that you have to defend the fact that you admit that you're friends with me? You want to get that out of the way at the beginning or at the end?
No, I don't need to get that out of the way. The public knows that already. You get on my nerves. I don't agree with you 75% of the time, but you're still my buddy. You know, I feel bad for you half the time with some of the takes you give, but I'm here to help you out anyway. What's going on, Sean?
Okay. All right. I always say, you say to me, stay in my lane when I talk sports, stay in your lane on politics. However, there's something amazing. Putting aside any demographic group, if you're going to attack them, you want them to vote a certain way, and you're going to suggest that they are sexist or misogynistic, if you're going to suggest, like Stacey Abrams did, that African-American men are racist and sexist, is that a good way to encourage people to vote the way you'd like them to vote?
No, but I didn't hear Stacey. I didn't hear Stacey Abrams speak in that way. As a matter of fact, she talked about how black men do vote. Black men do support Kamala Harris. Black men do support a lot of the Democrats and what have you. And she's absolutely right about that. You know, I spoke against President Barack Obama, who I know you don't like that, but I admire and respect this man. I did not like what he had to say at that particular clip that you showed, and I spoke out about it on my show, the Stephen A. Smith Show, and I'm unapologetic about that because I know, by and large, black men have always supported black women. That's a fact. That's a point of fact. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't some misogyny that does exist amongst a few in our community. But I think that when we looked at this election that's forthcoming, and we see Kamala Harris going up against Donald Trump, I don't think it's right to point to that as a reason why it's a nip and tuck race and why she isn't receiving the support that she deserves. And that is why I spoke out against what he had to say on that particular issue, because I was refuting what he was saying. I don't believe that to be the case at all when it comes to her.
All right, so let's stay on Kamala Harris for a second here. Democrats are in a state of panic. Although momentum seems to be going to Donald Trump. I told you this would happen in a private conversation we had. You were skeptical. I think I was proven right. You know sports better than I do. I think I know politics. I know.
You do.
But here's my question for you. You did call her out early. And you said she's making a mistake not doing interviews. Now, she does these interviews, and I argue to you that the reason she's struggling and she's like tied up in a pretzel, because she can't express what she has stated publicly, that she wants the Green New Deal, the elimination of the filibuster. She can't say she wants to eliminate private health insurance, as she has said in the past. She's not going to run on what she has stated in the past to decriminalize illegal immigration, free food, housing, healthcare, education, sex change operations, and a path to citizenship, or banning fracking, banning offshore drilling. So she has to give us word salads because she won't tell us how she really feels. She's hiding her true beliefs.
Well,
Donald Trump doesn't do that.
Well, first of all, that's a very long question. Let's get to it. Number one, you talk about what she's doing. The bottom line is this: as Vice President of the United States, it wasn't her job to lead. She has to go along with the program. You are a support base. You support the person that is in charge, who happened to be Joe Biden. That's number one. Number two, I know you're not talking about somebody being lucid and cogent and enunciating their thoughts with clarity, and you're bragging about Donald Trump. We can't be watching the same stuff if that's what you're doing. You ain't gonna do that today.
You know
now,
what?
Lindsey Graham, hold it. Now, Senator Lindsey Graham is about to come on this show.
Let me tell you
now,
something.
that man can articulate himself very well. Not Donald Trump now.
I have sat with him for hour after hour after hour, topic after topic after topic, and he is so dialed in.
Really?
Look, it's funny. People try. This is like the latest argument. And meanwhile, your friends in the Democratic Party, they ignored the obvious, significant, deep cognitive decline of the president for over 4 years. I said it before the 2020 election. Kamala to this day say, "Oh, Joe was really cognitively alert." You know that's a crock. I know that's a crock.
What is she supposed to say, Sean?
Knows it's a crock. Not Donald Trump.
Sean, what is it? Hold on. What is she supposed to say? She's supposed to sit up there and say, you know what, my president, my boss.
Truth.
I mean, there was cognitive decline there. No, you're not. No, you don't do that.
Show?
You don't dime out your boss. You don't. I do tell the truth on my show, but guess what? So I said I do. What I said, however, is that I'm not going to dime out my boss if that's my boss. Go ahead.
Whoa, hang on a second. You know what? I have never watched you hold back. You say what you mean. You mean what you say. That's my point. She is. But she knew he was a cognitive mess, and now she's lying. Oh no, I never noticed it. It's a crock.
Sean,
it's a lie.
Because Sean, what
Just
you're trying
admit
to
it's a lie.
Because what people. But because listen, I personally, a year earlier, I was saying there's slippage, there's something that ain't there. He ain't going to make it to the election. Y'all better get with the program, do something about it. I was on the record about Joe Biden, but I'm not a part of the Biden administration. And if I was a part of the Biden administration, I wouldn't have told you that. That's number one. Number two, she's the candidate now. You got to run against her. Are you going to beat her, Sean? Are you going to beat her? Are you going to beat her?
It's straight up. The American people.
Are you as confident as you were months ago?
The biggest choice election in a lifetime.
I see some slippage on his part.
Stephen A., let me tell you something.
Yes.
She lied when she said the inflation's transitory. They lied repeatedly, and she said, "Oh no, the border's secure. The border's secure." Now,
are you
all
sure?
Of a sudden,
are you sure you want to make the case about somebody lying in favor of Trump?
She never changed her positions on. She never changed her position on the Green New Deal, on sex change operations, open borders, amnesty, until she became a candidate. You know what that means? She is a typical politician that just will say whatever needs to be said to win an election. You get the last word because I like you so much.
Can I retort? Let me retort. Fair enough.
Okay.
You didn't even bring up fracking. You didn't even bring up the border. That's absolutely a valid point on your part. What she's doing now is saying, excuse me, I'm open to compromise. I'm willing to work across the aisle. I'm willing to listen and make things happen. Now, you have a lot of people who are going to vote for Trump, and they absolutely positively believe he will change Washington. The question is, will it be for better or will it be for worse? The cesspool that we look at as the nation's capital, if you got him back in office and he's on a revenge tour and he's not focused on doing what it takes to lead the country, where will that lead the country? You're not bringing that part up. So again, we might not like something on the left. We might not like something on the right. These are the two candidates that we've got to work with. And when you bring up issues in terms of character or in terms of being truthful or whatever, let me tell you something right now. Right. You can bring a whole bunch of Republicans and I'll be cool with it. You can't bring up Trump to make a case against somebody else using those arguments. You can't do that.
Look, you know what? I'm predicting that privately you're going to vote for Trump.
Oh, then never. And I told you I'm on the record. I'd have voted almost for any Republican but him. Okay? Nikki Haley, Chris Christie, I would have voted for
I'm not trying to set
not him.
I got to go. I love you, Stephen A. God bless you. And I don't have to defend my relationship with you. All right. We'll see you later.
You don't.
All right, with
But
early
I
voting.
do.
That was just art. That was a beautiful thing to watch. Shan Hannity was completely out of control. He was on the ROP, Stephen A, doing an incredible job, bringing that same energy that he does, discussing the NBA, to discussing the importance of this election. And Sean Hannity was not prepared. Not a shock much. Like Donald Trump is not prepared as we see his cognitive decline. But it wasn't just Stephen A calling out how unfit Donald Trump was. Of course, it was VP Harris last night at an incredible rally, and I want to take a look at that.
Donald Trump with no guardrails. He who will claim unchecked and extreme power if he is reelected, who has vowed that he will be a dictator on day one, who calls Americans who disagree with him, I'm going to quote, the enemy from within. You know what that harkens back to? He's calling Americans the enemy within, who says that he would use the military to go after them. And he who has called for the, quote, termination of the Constitution of the United States. Let us be very clear. Someone who suggests we should terminate the Constitution of the United States of America should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States of America.
This is the message that we need to continue to drive home. Donald Trump is more dangerous than Donald Trump is more deranged than ever. And there will be fewer guardrails around him to prevent him from acting in a dangerous way and attacking our country and empowering his stoves to do the same. It is a scary thought, but it is one that we have to continue to talk about and have to continue to push back on. And we are going to every single day on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You leave a like on this video, and if you're stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.